What to do, all you blue motherfuckers? Welcome to a very special episode of the Film Cave where we're diving full, complete focus and spoilers for Avatar: The Way of H2O. It's your boy Night.
What's up, everybody? Logan here. I'm excited to hear. I don't know if you even tweeted about after you saw it. I didn't see it. I've been purposely staying away. So
Gotcha.
I want to hear what this motherfucker has to say as a diehard hater of the first one. I'm excited to see, and I'm excited to talk about it because I mean, at the end of the day, this is definitely a movie you can talk about, and it's worth it, you know. So let's have some fun, and shoot the shit a little bit.
Definitely, because we're not gonna have a show tomorrow.
Yeah.
Holiday week, all that good shit, and just tomorrow we'll start, and then we'll have a whole new season of the Film Cave. But we'll get into that on episode 100. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. I'm curious to see what this man thinks.
Yeah.
And as well as to give my own thoughts on the matter. So thank you so much if you're watching this, live and or on playback. We appreciate it and love you all so much. Right here in my heart, right there is where y'all are. But to let us know that you feel the same, because relationships goes both ways. Hit that thumbs up, hit the notification bell, but most importantly, right before we're about to smack that ass and go right in, make everything official, hit that subscribe button. It's free. Cost you nothing, and it really supports the channel, so we appreciate you. Thank
Make
you so
it official, guys.
Make it official. Get that ass slapped.
Yes.
All right.
Buy me dinner, and then let's do it. God damn it.
Make that ass lick. All right. Shall we get into it, good sir?
Let's do it. I'm excited.
Let's do it. So, a little lovely movie came out, Avatar. We all know. I'm not going to give a full ass play-by-play of the fucking film. Go see it if you haven't seen it.
It'd take 3 hours and 11 minutes.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would. So, good sir, I'm going to start off with you.
Yeah.
What did you think about the movie? And then we could just dive right into the shit. You let me know.
So overall thoughts, I think it's pretty dang good. Enjoyable experience for sure. I will say, like, in terms of effects, are obviously fantastic. Like, it's a lock for Oscars of effects. I mean, that's just obvious, especially in a movie full of not the best effects. Like, I think about something like Doctor Strange that should have blown us away, and they were just okay. They're fine for what it was.
Right.
But in terms of like the 3D, I fucking hate it.
Fucking stupid.
I mean, it's so unnecessary. It looked good. It looked fine, but like, I would have had a better experience without wearing those glasses and without, having to. I can't tilt my head at all without it looking blurry.
Yeah, that was annoying.
So that's a thing. But in terms of the story, I think it's good. I actually think I prefer the first one's story because it's a little bit more like its mission is clear, whereas this one has a lot more characters. We focus a lot more on the kids and whatever the fuck their drama is, and I didn't get as much of my Jake Sully that I would prefer. He's just kind of the dad in the background.
The Sullys.
And popping up every once in a while. So I think I actually like the first one's story more, but this one's obviously beautiful. The water's cool. Some interesting things take place, but overall, it's pretty dang good. But I'm not like I want to see it again, but like, I'm not dying to see it again. And if I don't, I won't cry about it, if that makes sense.
It does. It makes a lot of sense. Alrighty. Good?
Yeah. What about you?
All right. So, I am here to say that I really fucking loved this movie.
Oh.
fuck no, I'm bullshitting. I ain't fucking
Oh,
with
thank
that
God, man.
shit.
I was about to say
I'm bullshitting.
that was what Kenya said, basically.
Yeah, no. For me, the movie was it was alright. I'm like, okay,
Okay.
it happened. I didn't hate it. Like I hated the first one. I'm like, okay, fine. But like I said, it's just a movie that just happened to me. I was like, yeah.
Right.
Again, the effects, fucking phenomenal.
Correct.
But there were times, and I don't know if it was a motion thing or whatever the
It's
fuck.
the frame rate.
It felt very video game cinematic at times.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
ooh.
Full blown cutscene.
I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. Correct.
But when anything is like up close and we're focused on them or whatever, I was like, this is fucking great. The water,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I was thirsty the whole goddamn movie. I was like, this is making me really thirsty.
And you can't drink.
And I can't drink. Didn't pee through the whole thing, so that was cool. So the movie was and it was okay. It happened. In terms of the story for me, yeah, I guess I like this a little better, than the first one, but it's not saying much. Not like both of them had amazing fucking stories.
Right.
To me, this one was more of a message than a story.
I agree.
This was very fucking A Voyage Home, Star Trek, fuck Spock, let's save the fucking whales, everything. I was like, okay, that's where we're going. The aspect of the story that I really did like was the family aspect. That to me was the strongest thing.
Right.
I'm like, I like when they do this. I'm like, okay, cool.
Correct.
But everything else surrounding it, I'm like, okay. It did get a little boring for me, a little bit. The third act saved it for me, for sure. But that in between, like I caught myself having to like adjust and sit up a little bit and just kind of be like trying to get to it. But overall, I did not hate it. Not hate it. I don't need any more. I didn't even need this one.
I know.
But
we got a guaranteed 2 more, and they want 3 more, but they've already started. They've already shot the 3rd, and they're shooting the 4th.
Right, 95% of like the 3rd one has been like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks because, and annoyingly so, this film does absolutely nothing but set up the other 50 fucking movies because they hit you with all of these things with no payoff or answers. And you're just like, okay, well, I guess we have to wait for Avatar 36 to see what the fuck this was. So that was annoying. But yeah, those are my overall thoughts, and we can just dive into it and see what the fuck we thought.
So I want to talk about what Maddie Sags is saying here in the chat, which is the fact that there's no IMAX 2D showings.
Yeah.
Infuriates the fuck out of me.
It does.
I'd be interested to hear, Maddie, what kind of, because he ended up saying he saw a 2D showing. I read today, because I have an AMC that has an IMAX, and then I have a Cinemark that's brand new, and their IMAX, which is obviously not IMAX, but it's called XD, and that's like their premium, and they actually have 2 of those in this theater, and so they're showing 3D and 2D both in XD. And basically I was trying to do some research today about aspect ratios, because the first Avatar is shot like the first Avengers, where it's basically IMAX, or Joker. Joker was shot in that format it just fills an IMAX screen, not your big square, not 4x3, but like, what like Doctor Strange was.
Yeah.
And basically what I read is that if you saw this thing in 2D, it's actually full widescreen. They purposefully cut the top and bottom off just to make your experience that much worse.
That's annoying.
Like if you go see this in Real D 3D, like but standard, nothing, not Dolby, not IMAX, but just go see a 3D. It's got the full aspect ratio. But if you see it in 2D standard, nothing special, it is cut off. And that kind of shit right there makes me not want to give this any more money. Like, it's so fucking infuriating that they're pushing this on us when it's not necessary for the experience at all.
It's really not. It did absolutely nothing for me.
Right.
Like, I'm just
Zero.
okay, this bitch is balls in my face.
It just hurt my head. Like, that's all it did for me.
it was just annoying. I would have appreciated the film more if it was just regular with
Yeah.
IMAX. It would have been like, oh, this is fucking great, but now I gotta see floating light fish and arrows and shit. I guess that's cool.
Hmm.
Or a vine that's just chilling right there. I'm like, oh, it's on my fucking face. Can you like move? That's really about it. But so in terms of, like I said, the story and aspect for me, it wasn't really strong. We didn't get a lot of Jake, like you said. But he came in where he needed to be and be the stern father and shit like
Yeah.
that. And fucking Zoe Saldana's just spending the whole movie crying.
She was
I was
really
like, okay.
bad.
I was
Like she was
okay.
completely not even in the movie almost.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess she started with that franchise fatigue she was talking about. She's like, I'm not gonna have to be in that this much. Let the kids take it.
Yeah, that's right.
The kids were fine. My favorite
Yeah.
was the youngest. She was adorable.
Oh, sure.
I was like, wow, I fucking love her. She was great. The main son or the youngest son got annoying to me for a little while. I'm like, motherfucker, you're causing all this shit. I need you to
Exactly.
relax. I need you
100%.
to relax. Figure it the fuck out. Spider was fucking unnecessary to me. I was like,
Completely. Yeah, I agree.
why the fuck are you here? And now we're just going to welcome you back in open arms, even though you just gave every single one of these motherfuckers our locations and got half our people fucking
Yeah.
tortured
And
shit.
saved the devil,
Yes.
and
Save
he's gonna
this
keep that a
motherfucker.
secret. I bet.
I'm like, oh,
He won't even tell
definitely
him.
is. Not at all. I'm like, why are you saving him? You
Yeah.
met him for a day. And it was like, who's just dropped you off and left you? And like, you're like, oh, let me go save him.
And he's
because
like,
he's not-
oh yeah, he's like, oh, he didn't want me to die, so let me go save him. It's like, no, he's killed millions,
Yeah.
and he just cares about you because you are not blue,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
He even tells you, bitch, like, he's not mine. Like, we're not even the same species.
Yeah.
I'm like, because he said no for 2 seconds, you're going to get a heart for him? No, you just tried to kill my whole fucking friends. You did kill one of my friends, his fucking Jake's son. So I'm like, why am I going to chill with you? Like, you directly, but your people. So I'm like,
Yeah.
why the fuck am I going to rock with you? No, drown. So the kids annoyed me. Fucking Sigourney Weaver 2.0. I'm like, bitch,
Right.
why? What is your purpose?
Well,
Like,
she's. I'm intrigued by her, but it was nothing but setup.
nothing.
Yeah.
Who's my dad? Oh, everything. The water feels great. I can do everything nobody else can. Why? I have to find out the next 2 movies now.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is so
Exactly.
stupid.
And like she saved everyone in this one. I expected that in movie 3 or 4. I didn't expect that here because now they've used that. They cannot reuse that. Like she can't get more. She's only going to get like more powerful or more whatever powers of control with the, whatever she's got. It's only going to get better. And now she can't be the one that swoops in and saves the day. Like they've already used that.
Oh
And so
yeah,
if they
they're
do-
MacGuffin the fuck out of her.
Yeah. So if they do, it's just going to be more. Like it's just going to be repetitive.
I'm like, either Sigourney Weaver fucked one of those fucking nature trees to give her this shit to make her, because I don't see who her daddy could possibly be.
No, yeah. I think
That can-
Yeah, I think it's just Awa.
Maybe. I think so. Sure.
Yeah.
You'd have to explain the fuck out of that for me to make it make sense onto how. But
I mean, they grew their avatars without, mothers and fathers. So I think it was just because, like, at the end of the first one, they are trying to transfer Sigourney Weaver, the human, into the avatar, like they did
Yeah.
to Jake. But it seems to
failed
not
for her,
work.
though.
Yeah,
yeah.
but apparently they took her avatar and just put it in a tank, and all of a sudden it starts getting a little belly. And so, I mean, I think it's obvious, like, in the way that she's like a god. Like, she seems to be a deity of some sort, where she's even given these abilities.
Then she fucked a tree, one of them awa
Right.
trees or some shit, and was like,
Because
Child.
that's what that body was hooked into the trees, and it had all the shit all over it. So I think that's exactly right, as it was conceived by Awa to, I don't know.
guess.
It's interesting.
She was fucking doing everything, and she got the little light fish at the end. It's like, find my people. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
do your thing.
And like she controls the plants to like fuck that one guy up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
was like, I heard it. The fucking whales situation.
yeah,
That's all this fucking movie was. Save the whales, nature, aquatic life, everything. It was
correct.
like firm message is what this film was. With a family surrounding it. That was it.
Yeah.
The son kept deliberately disobeying. Don't go past a fucking reef. So he finds this whale. So with the whale, the outcast shit wasn't making any sense to me. So the whales don't fucking kill people, but when they got attacked by the sky people, he said, "Fuck that! They're killing everybody. Let's lead a charge," and got everyone killed. So they said, "You don't belong here anymore," right?
So the way I took it, because it was a little strange, but what I think
Yes, it
happened
was.
was he being his whale, the
Mhm.
outcast whale, was with some Na'vi. They got attacked by sky people,
Yeah,
and the Na'vi and the other whales think he killed the Na'vis. He doesn't think they don't think there's any sky people involved. But he's like, look at my fucking fin.
it doesn't make any sense. Why
My
would they
fin
think
got
that?
cut off, and I've got this thing in it, this big metal thing.
Right.
And so that's the way I took it. Was for some reason they think that the whale killed Na'vi.
Well, I hope not, because that'd be horrible. But I
It
think
makes no sense. But
it doesn't. But I think the way I took it, because the water chief, we was telling the stories like with these whales, like aren't allowed to bring harm or fight. Like they don't fucking do that. But he went along his way and got everyone fucking massacred trying to fight the sky people, and then everyone, including the whales, all got
Gotcha.
clapped.
Okay.
So now he stays out there now because he went completely
He's
against
the
our
only
grain.
one that's worth a goddamn thing, is what you're telling me.
Right.
He's
Right, 'cause
the only
that-
one that'll help.
Absolutely, because everyone was running. He was like, "Yeah, no, I'm about to smoke." He went ham. I was like, "Oh, I love that whale. He's pretty dope."
Yeah.
And that was cool. But I thought they were saying that the whale brought people into fighting and got them killed. Yeah, that's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Yeah.
Because like he literally said, "Oh, they're shooting at us. Let's go," and everyone got fucked up. And it was
Sure.
like, "Yeah, maybe you should stay over here."
And the whale that got called out, he's like, hey, if y'all'd come help me, if y'all other whales would do this, we would not be in any pain. We'd be all right. But
Yeah.
I don't
He's
know,
like, you
man.
know what? I'll go about it myself. It's like, you hurt my homie? Cool. Now I'm about
Yeah.
to fuck y'all up. And did they even let him back at the end?
No, I don't
They
think
didn't,
so.
right? He's just still fucking out there.
Yeah.
He's
Just
still
but
out there.
Jake is like, hey, I see you and I see your boy. He's like, so
Right.
me and him are cool, but like, don't bring it up to.
I was like, Jesus Christ. So the water people.
Yeah.
Or the reef people, whatever they call it themselves. I'm not gonna remember any
I
of the
have
name
no
because it's all and all type of shit.
Yeah.
I like them. The Suns were fucking assholes.
Correct. Awful.
Like, I don't give a damn if we share. Oh, I think I'm an outcast too, bitch. You left me stranded. I almost died. You are catching
Right.
every hand that I have. Like,
Correct.
like, why are you sticking up for this man? No. So I love. They were cool. What they stood by, their code. Like Kenya said here, the queen was really the one running shit.
Right.
Old dude was just to show face, like, yeah, I'm stern, but her over here,
Yeah.
she bought it.
Mm-hmm.
I liked little fucking Haley, aka fucking Ariel 2.2, because she looks like 2.0, because she looks exactly like fucking Haley. She was cool, teaching them the ways and gonna fall in love with little Jake. Yeah, what did you think about all of them and the people and shit?
Yeah, I mean, I liked the relationship between the chief and the wife because it was cool to see. He's a big motherfucker. Like, he's way taller than Jake.
It is.
Like, and he's swole as shit. And I like how it's like, as soon as they show up and they're like, we'd like to stay here. And he looks at his wife. He's like, what do you think? She's like, fuck no.
Yeah.
And he's like, we can't say no. And she's like, fuck no. Like, she's like, you heard
I
me.
said what I said.
Yeah. And he's like, I have to be the chief right now, and I'm gonna go ahead
Yeah.
and say yes. But that's how it is the whole time. It's like she's the shit. And also, if it was up to her, this movie wouldn't have happened because she would have said, "No, y'all are on your own. Get the fuck out of here."
Right.
But
And
and then when it comes to the kids, the sons suck. That's
Yeah,
the whole
they do.
point of them. And that's where there's a possibility of, like, in a sequel, their characters start to get a little bit better. But at the same
Sure,
time,
I hope so.
it's that thing of you had to have them in this movie to make the movie what it was. And so now we know we're all cool. Those sons are going to be the shit to Jake's last son because the older brother's dead. And so now it's like, where's that confrontation for another 3-hour movie throughout? Like, is it really just going to be war the whole time, or is while they're at home, is there going to be conflict? I don't know. Because that's the thing too, is like Jake and his son, they're cool. Now Neytiri and Spider, she'll cut that motherfucker up right now.
Yeah, she would.
She's like, "Oh, is this your boyfriend?" Sight. Like, she does not care, and it's literally because she's racist. And it's funny as shit that they made her racist as fuck, but she's like, "Nah, sky person." It's like, we raised him. Nah, sky person. Like,
well, she was cool with it until like that sun shit happened. She's like, "Yeah, I'll give a shit about you now, homie."
Right,
like, listen,
correct.
I will cut this bitch right now.
But at the beginning, in the opening monologue, they say, like, Neytiri does not like. Neytiri only sees him as a sky person. And it's like, he's literally raised by the sky people y'all let stay. So, like, he's good. Like, he's y'all's people. But she's
until
not
he
about
ratted
it.
everything out.
And correct. No, then he could straight up, like, I'm surprised he lived.
I am too, to be completely honest with you. I hope he died.
I agree. He was nothing but a nuisance the whole goddamn movie. And now he's going to be like, it's going to be the same arc for him in this next one. It's going to be, my dad's out there, and even though I'm not on his side, I can't let them hurt him. And so he's going to be protecting his dad
the whole time.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, that's this movie. Interesting.
Yeah.
Even though he was just helping him the whole goddamn time. Like, hey, come on the helicopter, and let's just go interpret for me while I fuck people up. And it's like, how about you go stay in the goddamn helicopter? Like, don't get out.
Or be like, I'm not fucking helping you, son. You can fucking kill me if that's the case. I'm not gonna
no shit.
So I'm just like, he was a fucking nuisance. He was completely unnecessary. Didn't mind looking at him with that little fucking running around that lion claw. But I was like, you're fucking annoying and you should die.
Yeah.
And another thing that pissed me off, and I feel bad for the water people, because I'm like, Jake and everyone's idea was like, listen, they're hunting us and they're about to murder all of our people until they get to us. We cannot be here because we're going to bring all these people harm.
Yeah.
So let's go find some new fucking people to bring their ass harm to.
Right, because we got to protect our mom over here.
Right. I'm like
they left Neytiri's mom, and it's like, oh, okay, good. I'm glad she's safe.
Right. So let's just go bring fucking danger that is coming to these other fucking people. I'm like, you just traded. What's the point here? So I'm just like, okay, I guess we just needed a new civilization for James Cameron to fucking jerk off to and show how great you can make it look. That's fucking it. Because it's completely unnecessary. But I'm like, okay, fine.
Because that's the thing too, is like, when it comes down to it, this movie should have been 2.5, 2:45. Like, there's so much of this movie that could be cut out.
Probably a little too long.
I mean, but like, I think about the scene where, the youngest son goes with the boys to hunt and they ditch his ass. That's like a 25-minute long scene with him going out there. They leave him, then the thing's trying to kill him, and then the whale shows up, and then he's helping the whale, and it's like, god damn, man, we've been with nothing but a kid and a whale for forever. And I'm not saying it's bad, but like, I got bored. Like, that's the thing is, first of all, the first act of this movie, the first hour of this movie, I was bored. Yeah. Like, I'm looking at the beauty of it and everything's nice, but like, I was bored. The second and third acts, like, obviously third act is nothing but war, but
The
like
third act was my favorite part.
but when they're like, oh, let's follow the whale killers now, and we're on their ship, and let's go kill one, and let's learn about this, and like I'm
Make
like,
you feel bad,
motherfucker,
sympathize.
let's go. Like, go from just the Navi's point of view. Like, that
Yeah.
would save this movie so much. Like, I don't need to follow this whale ship guy and like harpooning and like learning about the harpoons. And like Kenya was asking about the whale, like
The whale juice.
what is it on Nowhere? It's the same shit, whatever they mine over there on Nowhere. But from Guardians. But
They mine shit in Nowhere. Guardians.
yeah, in Guardians 1, the yellow, it's the spinal fluid. And it's bright yellow. It's the exact same fucking shit. And that's all that. That's the only reason Nowhere is a thing, is because it's a mining place.
But I was just like,
Crab machines look dope. That's
they were
true.
cool. They were
But,
cool. I like the whole big main ship they were on. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I was like, you mean to tell me this fucking juice that can literally stop aging is only $80 million?
But like that, because Kenya said the same thing. We don't know how much of it stops you aging for how long. What if you got to drink that whole thing and you don't age like 1 year?
I don't know.
And it's 80 million for a year? Not worth it.
Do that shit in. It just never spoken about again. It's like, oh, here, this can stop aging. We need it.
Because that's what's so funny is, no, you don't, because you've also thrown at me that the Earth is dying and that's why you're here.
Right.
So what the fuck does aging have to do with anything? If anything, y'all want to die because you don't want to live here. Like, it's just your job to try to get it ready, but like you don't want to be the people that have to colonize this bitch.
It's
like
insane.
Like that.
So
That's
okay.
what I mean. Is all of that? It was a message, because out there in Japan and shit, they still hunt whales and they should stop.
Yeah,
And it's
like,
like,
there's no
okay,
story. It was just fucking messages.
It was just messages. Yeah, I agree. And like going back to like the kids, like there was one spot that made me laugh my ass off, because Jake was like okay with the oldest continuously taking the blame.
Yeah.
And because he would like punish the oldest one after he takes the blame, and then go to the youngest one and be like, I know it was you, even though I just gave him, like, he's not allowed to fucking fly for whatever, like all this shit. It's like, just took this away from him, but like, I know it was you. And at one point, I think it was when they fought, so before the kids like took him out and ditched him, it was the younger one that threw the first punch. And then the dad, like Jake, like takes him and is like, what are you doing? Like, I told you not to get in trouble, whatever. And the oldest is like, I take full responsibility. And he's like, I'm not buying that. He's like, it was him. And like, finally, he's like, it was this fucker. Like, why the fuck you act like that, bitch? Like, I didn't raise you to be a little shit.
It was that was pissing me off a lot too. I'm like, how many times we get in a situation where he's gonna say, "Come, I'll handle this one. Come, I'll handle this one. Come, I'll handle this one." Stop just fucking up. Like a lot of these situations you're in is because of fucking you. Stop.
Right.
Your brother died because of you. Stop. Like, stop just running into shit.
And then he leaves anyway. He's like, Jake told me to stay. I gotta go. And of course he ends up saving somebody, and that's obvious. That's the point, is that it's, if he's gonna leave the last time after what just happened, he's gonna leave his goddamn brother's dead body.
Yes, he is.
He better save somebody.
And not appear anywhere in that entire battle. He's like, hey, just watch him. Bye. It disappears into the very fucking end.
Correct.
Until Dad. He has
Right.
to save Dad or whatever the fuck. I'm like, okay. And that's just,
and then all he does,
always forgiven.
And he doesn't even save him. Thank God Sigourney over here can control some shits.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because we've been fucked.
They were just sitting there. They were gonna die.
Yeah,
just gonna die together.
You're just gonna teach him how to breathe real nice before he dies.
And like, that's the thing too. Is okay. We're jumping all over the place, and it's fine.
It's fine. It's
but like,
I'm not gonna track that shit.
So that scene, great scene. Dad, breathe from here.
I really like it.
I know you're fucked up, but breathe from here. All that. That was day one of when the kids got in the water, is what they heard. Then, oldest son's already dead, by the way. Skip to the end. We're going to bury him, and we do the water people's burial.
Yeah.
And then Jake's like, hey, we're going to dip tomorrow. We brought y'all enough shit, whatever. And I was like, oh, I like that. Like, take me on a new adventure. Go somewhere else. I was like, that makes sense. And then the chief was like, you buried your oldest son here. You're one of us now. You're water people. And Jake's like, this is our home. We're water people. And it's like, motherfucker, you didn't know how to breathe a day ago. Like, you never fucking were about being a water person. And guess what? Your wife won't even get a goddamn water dragon. She still flies the normal fucking dragons because she ain't about that life. Y'all are not water people. Like,
I guess now, like I said, we have to adapt. So now they'll adapt to being water
now
people.
they're gonna learn how to goddamn breathe. Like,
yeah.
I just that right there made me so mad because I was like, it's so dumb for him to be like, these are our people. It's like, no, y'all don't have the tails for it. You'll always be forest people.
Yeah.
And that was the other thing too, is like the kids are like, look at their tails. They can't do shit. Like, look how slow they are.
Fucking slow, right?
And it's like, hey, y'all want to go in the trees for a sec? Like,
Yeah.
we'll fuck y'all up. Like, it's the, like, I don't know why they're letting them talk shit. It's like, we can just get out on our feet. And that's why, like, they kick their ass. Yeah. Like, when the boys fight, Jake's kids kick their ass. It's because they don't know how to fight out of water. Like, they're fish out of fucking water. So
that's why I was like, I know why y'all keep taking this shit. I'm like, y'all would have got hands the first fucking second y'all tried me. I'm like, all right, cool. We're about to end this right now because it's not about to be the whole thing. Yeah, this ain't about to be the whole thing. Come on, let's stand, bro. Let's go. And that would have been it. You'd have to go through this whole 50-year fucking trials and tribulations with them to just a fake bond and then just get left and to come back to try to bond again. I'm like, no, we're gonna initiate this shit right here, right now. Get it over with. So Kenya brought this up, and I want to talk about this too. Slang is back. Which I always fucking love Slang. No matter what he's in, I'll watch him all fucking day. He's a badass. Did not need him again as this movie's villain. Again, just as an avatar. I'm like, oh, he's a bad guy again. Okay. He should have died. Because now we're going to see him again. And I already know what's going to happen. They're going to try to give him the fucking Kylo turnaround. He's going to murder all these people and kill his son. And at the end, they're going to be fucking kumbaya-ing at the end of this shit. I already know exactly what's going to happen. So, again, because the first movie is so fucking faint in my memory. How do they just have fucking avatars for them?
They just take DNA and then they grow them. And it takes like 10 years to grow them. But that's how long it takes for them to get to Pandora. So by the time that they make it on their journey, the things have grown.
Fully grown.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just like, how the fuck do they get all this again in all type? But okay, I guess that makes sense, I guess, for them.
But I fully agree with with what Kenya's saying. So I was okay with them coming back if they were gonna do, reincarnate him as an avatar. Although he is legitimately like the same guy. I'm trying to think of what movie that's like, but he's Loki after Endgame. We're gonna go pick his consciousness out of this moment before he's had all his great development. Because can you imagine if he remembered how he died and he was reliving that often or something? That would have been dope. Obviously, scientifically and whatever, the way they explained it, they couldn't do that. But he is legitimately just the same villain, taller.
Yeah.
That's it. And so I was like, okay, he's here. We're recurring. Fine. Kill him. Because I want to see what's next. Because that's one of my biggest complaints is this movie really feels like the first one. The way everything's laid out, it is so similar to where even with there's a moment in the first movie where Jake gets cast out, and then he has to come back, and that's all it is with the conflict between Jake's family and the water people, and how the son likes that whale, and they're like, you don't understand, you can't fucking like this whale, and he's like, but you don't know him, and they're like, motherfucker, stop. They're like, no, whale. And he's like, take care of your fucking son, and the Jake's just like, we're trying to live here, man. Like, god damn,
Right.
like, can
Stop
you
making
stop?
fucking trouble, man. What I tell y'all? Stop
But
again.
yeah, and he's like, you brought shame to this family. It's like, you like that
Yeah.
goddamn whale out there? Like,
Right.
it's like, come on, man. It's the whale saved his life. Like, it's cool.
Right.
But like, Stephen Lang should have died in this one, to where
Yes, you should have.
like, we know, like, I was even halfway through the movie, I was like, oh, he's gonna Kylo Ren it in this one. And like, you just
I
like,
thought so too.
like, I was like, oh, it's possible that that's the case. And it's like, oh no, they're actually gonna make me wait till fucking movie 5.
Yeah.
Like, they better not. Like,
Because I thought they were, but I was like, because these little ass bare attempts for him to be bonding with Spider this whole time,
it's awful.
I was like, are they really gonna go about this? He's gonna be fucking. He's gonna turn heel. He's gonna turn around at the fucking end of this movie because he has 2 seconds with this little fucking spider, and like teach him how to ride and laughing because he doesn't know the language dialect so good, and oh, that's how they do it. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, but no, I was like, oh shit. But when they did it a little bit, when he said to let go, like, oh no, okay, stop. I was like, okay. But then fucking Jake, and this I knew he wasn't dead. I was like, oh, this is how he dies. Just a little simple ass drowned and push off. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Like, okay, something's gonna happen.
Right.
And then it fucking did. Fucking Spider came back. He's like, Daddy, and fucking saved
Well, that's
him.
what
I'm like,
it
this is-
pisses me off, because like, Spider's supposed to be going to his adoptive dad,
Mm.
and he's like, oh, I find my real one. I love him. It's like,
Right.
no, the fuck you don't. Like, he's done nothing but cause death and pain to everyone you've ever known.
Yes. This
Like-
motherfucker bleeding out, dying in underwater, who raised you, you need to go fucking find him.
Exactly.
Like, not this asshole who you
Right.
spent an hour plus at the beginning of this movie hating. Oh, I wish you could know him. Oh, I don't like him. Oh, this, that, oh, that, and that. I'm like, so now you saw him, and now
'Cause-
all that's just gone.
Because that's the thing too, is it's like, how about the fact that he took you on a tour around the world, killing people and wrecking their shit,
Mm.
and you were so mad at him, and it's like, you're still okay with him? Like,
Because he
nah,
screamed
man.
no for a blade at your throat.
Right.
Oh, motherfucker.
But I did like how, because for a second I was like, oh, they're not going to let Stephen Lang just like, because they're like, they get him, they get the kids, and they're like, all right, we're out.
Mm.
And Stephen Lang's like, I'm never going to stop. And I'm like, oh God, not this cliche bullshit of like, they're really just going to let him live like that and come back. And then Jake's like, let's do it then. Like, and like ready to fight. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I was like, we're actually going to see him kill him. Like, that's dope. And no, they both live. And
They both live.
it's just, it's a little like, I really wish Stephen Lang died in this one. I think it would have been really impactful, because
It
you
would.
could have even done something with Spider,
And necessary.
to where he's, he has to look at his adoptive dad and be like, you killed him. Like, we could have done something, could have been different, whatever. And it's like, actually, that's not true, but
Or
that he
Spider
could have-
somehow fucking killed him. That would have been great.
exactly. That's probably how it's going to end.
I don't think it
And
is.
it doesn't make sense for that, because Spider's over here being a little bitch baby.
What's gonna happen? And Kenya said this. I believe it's gonna be true. Him and fucking Weaver are gonna hook up, but
Oh.
Dad's gonna come back, and it's gonna cause a conflict between the fucking family, and he's gonna like fucking sacrifice himself at the end to take out fucking Slang and all that shit. Do the heroism gig. And that's exactly what the fuck's gonna happen. I'm calling it now. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But you spoke on it. I did really like that moment. I thought it was badass when Slang and Jake
Yeah.
came out. He was like, if you fucking just know, I will never fucking stop. I
Yeah.
will come for your family, and I will fucking bleed you all. And he was like, oh, let's get it done. What's
Yeah.
up, homie? I was like, hey, that's kind
Like,
of
because that's the thing. It's like, I was sitting there with what he was saying. I was like, Jake, like, you're not a bitch.
Yeah, you
and like,
cannot walk away with this.
although, yes, your family's all safe right now. Like,
Mm.
besides your fucking oldest son, which that's why it's like, hey, step the fuck up, my guy. But it's like, he's not lying when he says he's never going to stop.
Yeah.
And so if that's the case, let's get it done.
Yeah.
And sadly, he doesn't get it fucking done, man.
He does. I mean, no, he
Like-
does. But fucking
Well-
Spider fucking fucks it up. He
But-
kills him. He's
but-
down there drowning.
That's the other thing. Like, what pisses me off, if you just reverse a little bit from the jokes I was making earlier, is if Jake would have just been a goddamn water person like he claims to be, he wouldn't have drowned. Like, it's so dumb that like he's sitting there choking him out and then he can't make it up. Like, it's like, oh my God, man. It's like you've been there for how long and you never learned how to fucking swim right?
Yeah.
And man,
that's very. I mean, him and the son almost went out, both drowning and shit. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
we'll take some time, I guess. But he did get it done, and I like that. But like I said, Spider fucked it up and had a daddy moment because
right.
he was down there drowning for like a minute. I'm like, how you still alive?
Right. No shit.
I'm like, damn. So I don't know. Like I said, and we had to get what's her name, Neferi, whatever the fuck, Zoe. Nateri, there you go.
Yeah.
Again,
Adults don't adapt as fast as kids, though. Motherfucker, how long were they there? We never even watched him train. Like,
that too. And the kids, if you want to go by that logic, the son fucking drowned because he couldn't stick in the water.
True
He was
too.
like, I can't make this shit. Fuck, and he just fucking, and that was it.
No, so Sam, you came in a little late, but I was making fun of how at the very end, like, they bury the son and Jake's like, oh, I'm leaving, and then the chief says, no, you're water people, and he's like, I am water people, that's right. It's like, no, the fuck you weren't. You never even learned how to breathe like your kids did. Like, the kids were training on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And the dad is like, oh, I'm just gonna skip to the expert mount.
Yeah.
Learn how to dive a little bit, but I'm not gonna learn how to breathe for an extended period of time. And it's like, you never even tried.
He's like, hey, people don't hop on this motherfucker so early. Just wait a little bit. He's like,
it's like, hey, how about, like, you best believe I would have been out there every day learning how to breathe. Like, because what's terrible is, I like what Ken just said infuriates the fuck out of me. Because the fucking woman from Titanic in 3 weeks learned how to hold her breath for over 7 minutes underwater. Like, in real life. Like, that's the actress that did that. It's like Jake Sully can't learn how to hold his goddamn breath around by nobody but experts at this shit. It's like he just never tried.
Yeah. Because he was just the alpha. He's just like, I got this, that, and that.
Right.
Like, all right, homie, sure. Like, you're great at the skies and shit.
Yeah.
But the underwater shit, homie, like, you can do a few little dives going up like a fucking dolphin, but staying under there, you're done
about it.
Yeah, no, not at all. And like you said, Zoe was just like, I'm not even.
She didn't even try.
Water.
Yeah. Did not even.
She was like, I'm not even touching that shit.
She was just stuck up the whole time, just mad.
She was just crying and mad. I'm like,
she's that wife that's like, hey, I got a new job. I'm gonna make triple what I'm making now, but we got to move to a different state. And she's like, but what about my mom? And it's like, did you hear what I just said?
Yeah.
It's like, we can come visit your mom whenever.
Yes.
But we're gonna move. And she's like, but my mother. And it's like, okay, are we gonna really be doing this? And she's like, yeah, I'm never gonna stop. And it's like, okay, well, you're still coming. So
well,
you're gonna be over here. You could just be upset, bitch.
Yeah, just fucking mope on the ride, bitch. Mope on the ride, because we gotta go. We're gonna go bring danger to this other tribe of people. So come on, we're gonna fuck up some more people. And she did nothing but cry and mad the whole fucking time. And then she had 1 second of vengeful badassness where she's fighting people. I'm like, okay,
it was dope.
Cool.
Yeah.
Welcome. Where were you?
That's what she was the whole first movie. It was that badass. His daughter's the queen of the seas. I think the point is his daughter's the queen of everything.
Yeah. This bitch is Navi or Navi god.
She's a descendant of Awa. So she can talk to all animals. She can control like all plants, just depending on her connection with Awa at the moment. That's what how I interpreted it.
I love how James Cameron writes his woman character strong as fuck and done right. No prey shit. Meanwhile, the main fucking one is been fucking resorted to in a fucking cot, crying, mad, and angry the whole entire movie.
But like, I do like, at the end of the day,
she was better in the first one.
She was 10 times better in the first one, for sure. Yeah. I think that this movie most definitely has a problem with the amount of characters that it has. Because Jake also got sidelined compared to what I would have expected.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
was just a stern dad.
yeah, and I mean, there at the end, obviously, he's the general and whatever, but like
Yeah.
we're following the kids. Like that, this
Yeah.
movie is the kids' movie, and I think that hurts it a lot because
It
I don't
does.
care about the kids, and it did a really good job of making me, worry about them. But like, I don't want to follow the fucking kids. At some point, I want the adults to see the conflict, and it become their movie. And instead, it was just the kids the whole time. It was the kids saving the parents, and
And
everyone's
Wells.
dead if it's not for Sigourney Weaver's,
Pretty much.
the daughter character. So like, I don't know.
Wasn't
man,
for
it's-
Water Jesus, everyone would be dead.
Correct.
That's what I was saying. Like this movie bored me until like the third act. I'm like, okay, like you set me up. I'm like, okay, it's good to see like what they've been doing over the years, watch their kids grow. That's cool, dope.
Right.
And then it hit that boring stage. I'm just like, okay,
That
Fucking
first hour
hell.
for me was boring for sure.
it
It was beautiful to look at, but like, because that's the thing too is it was funny with the 3D. Is the first 10 minutes have nice 3D. Like there's fireflies and they look a
Yeah.
little closer and all that. And then 10 minutes in, they're like, okay,
Abandoned.
just fucking make it look good. We don't care about 3D anymore. And
Yeah.
that's why I can't stand, there's some sort of like hold my dick situation with James Cameron where he's like, we have to push 3D
Oh,
even though it's
yeah.
unnecessary. And it's like, well, at least give me a movie that like makes that a
Can
true
benefit from it.
experience. But
Yeah.
like it was just, this movie would have been a much better experience for me if it was in 2D, so I didn't have to worry about the glasses. Like that's like I will buy this movie on 4K Blu-ray probably. If they fucking put it out. Same thing with the first one. But like I would laugh my ass off if they're like, oh, it's only in 3D and you have to have a 3D TV and you gotta have the glasses. And it's like, oh my
That'll
god.
make Adam happy.
Ugh.
That'll make Adam happy as shit. But yeah, it was just for me. And like I said, the message was just hammed in and hokey and so in your face. And like the kids annoyed me. The only kid I cared about, like I said, was the youngest one. That was it. Because she was cute. She was funny. She did her thing. And every time she was in danger, I was like, you better not fucking touch her. I was like, anybody else, it's fair game, but you better not touch her. That's really about it. And I like the general just because I like the actor. He's a badass.
Right.
The general of the water people, Clifford or Cliff something, I forget his name. But he's a badass and always in everything. Well, in the movie, I'm fine. This will probably be my last one. I don't need to fucking see anymore. I'm fine. I don't need to see the other ones.
At the end of the day, for me, like that's what's funny is this movie is twice as good, script wise, effects wise, emotion wise, performance wise, than something like Doctor Strange. Like Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, really struggled for me. And under certain circumstances, because they made promises to people, and because of what we did, I saw that fucking movie 4 times. And like, I would never see this movie 4 times in theaters. I do want to see it again, but I'm not rushing out. Like I'm waiting for them to allow it to be IMAX 2D, and then I'll jump on that. But at the end of the day, I will see all of these once. Because I mean, I go see big, beautiful movies one time. I mean, it's fine. What I would like to see is give me a movie that's not 3 hours long next time, like 2:45, even like the first one. I would be okay with that. Like I think that this movie should have been 2:45.
Surprise! It's gonna be even longer.
Exactly. That's what I mean. I'm so nervous about that.
It's gonna be even longer.
Something that I did want to bring up that was funny that I found out recently was, which you won't remember him from the first movie, but there was like a kid that is like Jake's, like the brothers of the 2 chiefs. There's a guy in the first one that is like that with Jake, like just fucks with Jake the whole time. I think his name's Sute, if I remember correctly. And that guy was played by Mother's Milk from The Boys.
Oh yeah, he's in the first one. Yeah.
So I thought that like I just learned that, and it was right after I had watched episode 3 of The Boys where I got introduced to Mother's Milk, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, that's hilarious. But
yeah, like
honestly, as someone who enjoys the first one, I missed like a lot of those characters, like that was what was most annoying is there's 2 recurring characters, 3, if you really want to, like with Stephen Lang. Like that's the only people from that first one, the monstrous epic, like make me care about all these people and go to war with them and all that. It's like, that's what's so funny is this one, while being very different location wise, all that, it's such a mirror to the first one because it's still making me have to fall in love with every character because like the people that I know are not the leads. And so it's like I just like with the brothers, like I gotta fall in love with them, and it's like stop putting so much work on yourself. Like make what works work.
And the ones we love just come just to spank the hand for 2 seconds and walk back off.
Because Jake the whole time, like to be honest, Jake is a bitch this whole movie because he's just trying to keep his family safe and stay on the low.
He's just trying to plead he's playing the whole movie.
Yeah,
he's like, listen, I'm sorry. Like,
it's understandable, but it's like that's not remotely close to what I expected. And you know, I didn't go to this movie to see a bunch of kids be fish out of water, but like opposite. Yeah, you know, it's just like, oh, they got thrown into this and they got to figure it out. And it's like,
I liked Jake in the beginning of the film because like we was on obviously the forest place and he's doing his little thing. He's like,
he's fucking the shit.
Right. He's fucking leading shit. He's fucking shit up. He's doing like, all right, cool. Like he's being a leader, like a general. I'm like, I bet. Natural fucking progression.
Yeah.
But then all that stripped away.
Right.
We go back
to the
and he's squabbling the whole entire movie until the end. It was like, hey, Dad, we're in fucking trouble again. Like, how many times can you call me on this fucking walkie?
Right.
And say, hey, we're in trouble. Who's with you? We're all here. Again? Goddamn. Like
everybody let's go. Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus.
That there was one point too that was funny where I think it was something like during the war. Oh, it was when Stephen Lang's character is talking to Jake and like they're at that standstill and he's got the kids and Jake's like, I gotta go by myself because he just told me. Oh, and Neytiri's in the air and she's like talks over the intercom thing. She's like, what's happening? Or something. And I wanted to be like, bitch, y'all can all hear this. You all have the intercom. Like, it's not like it's a direct.
We're all on comms, guys.
Yeah. Like, everybody's comms, same comms. And she's like, what's happening? It's like, bitch, you just heard what's happening. Maybe, are you out of range because you're flying around and not being one of us?
Right.
Like,
you're flying. You can see all of them above.
Right.
Like, you see what's happening.
Are you not going to swoop in and fucking save our kids?
Right. Like, our kids are fucked up. You can see them from the sky. Yeah. What are we going to do?
Like, you realize they're on a ship full of mostly white people, and there's some blue on that deck.
Yes. And fucking, what's her name? Edie, whatever the hell, just came out of fucking nowhere. The actress for the new general, who was the new slang when she first met.
Oh man, that was
Edie. What's her name? Edie Falco or some shit? What the fuck is her name?
I don't know.
Some shit. Nurse fucking Jackie. That's who she is. That's what I call her. But she came out of nowhere. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool cameo from Giovanni Ribisi and all them coming back for the video. That was cool. And Sigourney, her little fucking heaven talk shit. I was like, all right.
Well, that will be a through line through all of them, I bet.
Oh yeah.
She'll be popping up like that a lot.
She's gonna go fuck that tree and be like, Mom, and fucking she's gonna pop up, and there you go. So seeing the movie from 2009, the transition, understanding. I hate the parents' choices. I just hate every action and choice in this movie. That's not in the beginning, of the film. Every choice just brought an annoyance. And the fuck, where did the reef people go after the whale jump on the ship? They went Danny Finn. That's facts.
What is he talking about?
I was thinking about that. When fucking Jake Sully and the general led the entire fucking fleet of reef people flying on the fuckers to come fight and save their children, the minute the whale said, fuck it, here I come to save the day, all of them were gone. Not a single person was there. It was only Jake and his kids. The entire fleet that they brought, gone. They were in no fight. They were in no nothing. They just disappeared from the fucking end of the movie.
So the thing about it is, because they were fighting out on the water, but I thought it was very strange that the general didn't get up on the ship because it's his kid too. Like his daughter's on there. But yeah, you're right. Like it was Jake and Neytiri up in the sky that were going toward the ship, and all the other water people were just fighting whoever was out in the water. Like all the guys on ships.
For 2 seconds and then disappeared while everything else was still going on. I'm like, hey, where the fuck are all of you? We're dying underwater. If y'all fucked up all these people, come save us and help us.
Yeah.
They were nowhere to be found after they took out 2 fucking little speedboats, and that was it. And they didn't even take them out. The whale fucking did. The whale was like, yeah, I got this. And the people were just chilling.
Kenya just said something. So it said, they said if she does it again, she's dead, may not come back from another seizure. She did it again after that.
She thought the minute she touched that tree to fuck them people up, I'm like, oh, she's about to seize up. But she's about to seize up.
Yeah.
We're about to have a whole new conflict.
Nope, she's good. She just
chilling,
controlled it to kill those people, and she's good. It's like, oh.
It's like you set that up for nothing. Thank you so much.
Which obviously will happen again, but that's what I hate. So like, as soon as JVS came in, he started saying like, here's what will happen and here's what will happen. And that's the problem is the story's so predictable.
Yeah.
From now on. Like not obviously this one was not because it was fucking 13-year gap.
Right.
So we didn't know what was happening. It's not a direct, sequel necessarily. Like I said, you're not following anyone besides 3 characters basically.
Right.
And so my problem now is not killing Stephen Lang. I know exactly what overlying story will be going forward.
Yeah, I know exactly how it's going to
with
end.
Spider, all those things. It's like it's all so obvious, and maybe James Cameron knows that. Maybe he knows this because this movie has a lot of cliches, and so maybe he knows that, and maybe he's already shot this third one, and he knows that, and it's going to be fucking great and surprise us all. But like, it would be great if in the third one, Stephen Lang gets killed in the first 10 minutes
by Spider.
And that's the problem is it doesn't really make sense because they've set up so much.
Yeah, I know.
But like, he needs to die early on, and we need to get whatever's next.
Yeah.
But
and
from
that's a narrative that would have been much better. I'm pretty sure they got to fight this resistant fucking tribe of Na'vi that I'm sure Kenna keeps thinking it's gonna be a fire nation like Avatar. So I guess maybe go by fucking there. I don't know, but whoever it is, I'm sure it's gonna be that, or we're gonna be fighting global warming as the next fucking message,
right?
Or some shit.
Well, I think you're correct. I think then whether it's 3 or 4, at some point the terraforming of the world ship will show up, and it will start trying to turn the atmosphere into Earth's atmosphere, and that is going to be a problem, But it's legitimately, it is global warming type of thing. They're fighting because James Cameron is really big about, he fucking hates the U.S. government and military. And so that's always his thing is like, we suck. And he's not wrong. And so, we're going to show up there and we're going to try to steal their fucking planet from them. And it's going to be a huge war. And that's like, I almost wish this one was not a huge war. Like, we don't need that every movie. Like, I don't know.
It's a huge war. I don't say it was a huge war.
I mean, there's giant whales jumping onto giant ships that can be a tank or fly.
I thought the whales were gonna come together at the end too, and all fuck everybody up too.
It would have been dope. It would have been dope.
It would have been dope. Would have been better.
But that's what I mean is like, it sucks because you haven't seen the first one in a long time. But like, that happens in the first one, where all of a sudden, all these big rhino elephant things show up, and they all come and help, and it's like, it's like this movie follows the same beats a lot.
Yeah. And it was funny because I thought about this shit, 'cause at the beginning, Jake stressed again, the forests of Pandora can be dangerous. Never fucking saw that shit again. Why'd you say it again? We already knew that in the first one. Why elaborate? And then it pissed me off because, and another thing for that, because they set that up and absolutely did nothing with it. So fucking Edie Falco, whatever the fuck her name is, she's like, listen, we can't go into these fucking floating rocks and enemy skies for more than 10 minutes, if that, because they fuck us up every single time.
Yeah.
So let's try to see, because y'all are blue motherfuckers now, if that helps us. So they did the shit. They dropped them off. I don't see how the fuck they were able to survive through there unless motherfuckers are looking like, oh, there's Na'vi in those ships. I'm like, okay, fine. They dropped them off. The motherfuckers are still proceeding while the Na'vis are on the ground. They're proceeding to fly through the air the entire time, and nothing is fucking happening. I'm like, what is this excuse here? And how the fuck is this happening?
That's
Because
funny.
you just told me and set up that, hey, they'll fuck us up if they see us. We can't do it. If we have y'all, maybe they'll help it out. So they drop it on the floor. They're fine, obviously, because the Na'vi, they got that with the little fucking dog monsters. It was like, yeah, we're gonna fuck you. Oh, okay, never mind. You group them. Go about it.
Which doesn't make sense because the dog monsters were fucking attacking Jake as an avatar in the first one.
Regular motherfuckers. I'm like, okay, cool. But they're flying through the air on comms, helping these people out, telling them where to go, and not a damn bird is attacking, not a single anything. And they've been up there for fucking 5 hours now at this point. So I'm like, you mean to tell me just because there's Na'vi on the floor, they can connect that y'all two were here or some shit? This is stupid. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah. There's a lot of little things like that. That's what I mean. Is like I still. That's what's funny is, it's easy to point out negatives because if we were just on here saying, this movie's good, like that's not a review. But there's little things that like frustrate me. One of them being they showed up to where Stephen Lang's character died in the first one.
Yeah.
And it's the old like trailer. And that thing has had the windows busted out and has been open for over a decade. And Stephen Lang as an avatar is like, hey, get in that computer and rip the video out. And even one of them go, that thing's been dead for a decade. It's dead. And he's like, figure it out. 2 minutes later, they're watching a full 4K version of him dying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, they really figured that shit out pretty quick, didn't they?
From
like,
I
mean, things like that are funny. But overall, like, I'm surprised that you don't think you'll watch the next one.
I mean, I don't know. I wasn't gonna see this motherfucker, but
that's right. That's a good
I'll
point.
probably see it once and just call it a fucking day.
That's how I am. I do still. One of my biggest negatives is so this movie is shot fully in 60 FPS, and then they did at the same time they did something on top of it to make it look like 24 FPS again. But there are some scenes that go full-blown 60 FPS video game cutscene.
Oh,
and it is a drastic...
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, it is a drastic jump.
A lot. Yeah.
And it's super strange, and I'm very surprised that that's like the final product of that.
Yeah.
Because you also have to remember, like, this movie was shot years ago.
Yeah.
Like, the effects are phenomenal because they've had so much time on this.
Yeah.
And to see, like, and don't get me wrong, I'll tell you the shot that blew me away, effects-wise, it was funny that it never really stood out to me before, but it's when Jake and Spider at the very end are infiltrating that ship after the sons died, and they're like, he's like, I'll take you to them. And they go, and they're like climbing up this incline of the ship, and it's Spider with a huge avatar, and like everything looks fucking incredible. Like, it looks so good.
It was not worth the 3.5 hours. No, it was not. It wasn't 3.5 hours, but it wasn't worth the 3 hours.
With trailers.
Oh,
well, sitting there for, I mean, golly, you got two special looks.
Speaking of, I don't want to get too much into it, but that fucking, what was it, Oppenheimer, whatever the fuck?
Oppenheimer, yeah.
Oppenheimer, yeah. That trailer, and fuck, that movie is going to, I almost fucking came watching that fucking trailer.
I want it so bad, man.
I was like, oh my God. It was beautiful. But no, not worth that long. Shouldn't have been that fucking long.
Well, I won't say it's not. Like, I think everyone can go see this, and I think that everyone will enjoy it somewhat. Like you said, like, you didn't hate it. So that's something.
I didn't hate it. No,
and that's the thing is, I don't think anyone but someone that does movie stuff on YouTube that hated the first one will go see this one. Like, you went because you need to talk about it, see what things are, whatever.
Right.
And like, but a normal audience, if they hated it, they're not even looking at this. So if you've seen the first one and you enjoy it at all, you can go check this one out, and it's a continuation of the story. It's really nice to look at. But like, at the same time, I really think you could skip it, wait for it to be on TV, and it'll be on TV for 5.5 hours with all the commercials it'll have, but it'll be a full day
Right.
thing and you'll get it.
Yeah,
No, it's
absolutely.
not. Yeah.
I can't wait to see that fucking movie.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be another cult movie for sure.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah,
Any final thoughts?
You pretty much nailed it. If you like the first one, you'll like this shit. This
Right.
it's the same fucking shit. Nothing's changed. It's in a new place, and it's pretty to look at. It's fine. Or a lot more annoying fucking characters, and a lot more
Yeah.
stupid ass decisions, and a message that's fucked into your brain relentlessly, and that's really about it. Like, and again, and that's why I just don't talk about the visual. I'm just like, we go in
It's a
expecting
part
that
of
shit. Like, we fucking knew.
This
Like, I
movie's
don't need to
so
talk about it.
expensive because of it. Like, we know it's gonna look good.
Like, some of the shit is just fucking literally mind blowing. I'm like, Jesus fuck, what am I looking at? Like, this is amazing. And then it goes to fucking PS5 cutscene. I'm just like, what the fuck are we doing here? What just happened?
Strange.
I remember when because the first time it happened is when the very beginning, when they land and fucking start destroying Pandora a little bit, like then they first land and shit start dropping, shit start moving. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? I was like, okay, this is good. I thought it was just gonna happen but no. Oh yes, it is.
He's got a setup.
I got a setup. I got a chair now. No more floor.
But yeah, I think I think I would drastically enjoy this movie more if it was in 2D.
Yeah.
But the fact that if you want to see this thing in 2D, he purposefully cuts it to be super widescreen like a normal movie is infuriating. Because this movie is not shot, or I guess not framed, to be cut off like that. And it's infuriating as fuck. So I don't know. I'm interested to see the true, like, the final Rotten Tomato score. But like, I would guess that this would fall in the mid 70s and everybody be happy. And I think that's understandable.
That's what it should be. I probably would have put it there, but that's what it should be. That's what we comfortable. Like, okay, fine. Like, cool. Right. That's funny. And I kept that just was frustrating. I was just thinking that the whole time. So it's funny. Kenya's went for white people hair to nigga hair. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Very true. But that's also what I loved, because those fucking dreads looked phenomenal on any of them. Like, that texture quality. I was like, Jesus fuck. But it kept annoying me just because, again, we had white man coming into all this and want to be part of everything and all that shit, and he turns into him. But as he's sitting and talking about the sky people, I'm like, motherfucker, you still were one of them. Like, it's not
right.
Like, why are you saying this so like but it was just funny. Things like it's a nitpick, doesn't take away from the movie at all. It was just funny.
That one spot, he's like, because at first the mom is like, look, they're aliens. Like, the kid's got fingers, and he's like, look at me. He's like, I'm Daruk Maktow, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I'm a fucker, and I was one of them. Like, so
yeah,
that was. I still just think it's funny that they're like, oh, they got pinkies. Like, we don't like them. It's like, fuck you. Like, that finger don't even do shit. Like, why are y'all upset?
It's dumb. I was like, okay, fine. Which I guess I must have missed. Cause like, oh, Nabi only have 4, and if you fucked up, how would you get all 5? I was like, oh, right. I forgot that.
If you're an avatar, you have 5.
Yeah. I was like, wow, okay, fine, whatever. But it's fine. Why don't they have facial hair? I have no idea. It's a good question. Maybe it'll be in the Fire Nation tribe. They'll all have facial hair.
Oh God.
And shit. They'll all have facial hair. And
that was one thing that was funny too. Was the water people all had the Islander tattoos.
Yeah.
The tribal, and then the whales have it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these motherfucking whales flip upside down so they could give them tattoos and shit. I'm like, okay, that's funny.
I peeped that. I was like, because there was one in particular that was tatted the fuck up.
The main mom that ends up getting killed.
I was like, what the shit? Yeah. The main mom, the soul sister. I was like, okay, well, sorry for your loss, ma'am. But it's what it is. It's all right. It's cool. I saw it. I can say I saw it, and that's it.
I think you're glad you saw it.
in terms of how like just glad I watched it so I can be able to
Yeah,
talk
like
about
you're
it,
like,
or
yeah, like, oh, I'm glad that I didn't like you didn't miss out on it. Like, I think you would have been upset if you just never went and saw it.
I don't think so. I would have been perfectly fine. I literally the
I
only reason was to
disagree.
watch it was for this. Was like so I could talk about it and stuff like that. I would have
Yeah,
been completely fine not seeing this movie. Um, but now that I saw it, like I said, it's fine. I saw it. Like it's,
right.
but I don't. I wouldn't be angry at the least if I did not see this movie. Um, but beautiful to look at. So I
It
saw it.
is definitely.
So here we go. Thank you, Scylla. Hope I see you soon. Where do you work tomorrow? Let me know. No, not at all. It's not hating. I just don't get. Yeah, I don't see how you don't think I really just don't hate these movies. Like the movie. Like I did not care about seeing this movie at all. Um, I was gonna be like, oh my god. Wait, what? Did this get confirmed?
Oh God, is that actually? I literally said that.
Did that just get confirmed? Holy shit. If so, that's gonna be very interesting. Or are you yelling that you want that to happen?
Okay, no, I'm not seeing it anywhere.
I'm not seeing it either. Okay. I was about to say, wow.
Because he's Craven, so I don't expect it. But I was talking. I had Walker come over, and I brought that up. I was like, "What would you think about that?" And he's like, it's all right." But
oh no, that fucker is about to be Bond, apparently. I'd rather that than
or
fucking
Henry
Suits,
Cavill.
man. Wait, Henry? Wait till for Bond?
Yep.
It's high rumors that it's fucking Aaron that they're gunning for.
I'd be
Because
okay with
they
either.
want to be younger.
Yeah.
Now specifically.
How old is Aaron Taylor Johnson?
He's in his 30s, and that's what they're going for. Because Henry's already in his 40s.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like they ain't gonna do that.
How old are you?
32.
Yeah, you're all the same age.
Yeah. So
It's wild. It's also so weird that he's married to like an older woman.
I thought they divorced. Are they still married? I thought they separated.
No.
Oh. Never
So it
mind.
doesn't say it on Google. It's possible they separated, but he's with a 55-year-old woman.
Oh. Heard. Wait, a 55, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, I think she's a whole new one because the one he was with was older.
I see.
Oh, no.
I see his spouse is this woman, and they've been married since 2012.
Oh, then never mind. It's her then. Yeah. It's the same chick.
23-year difference. Jesus Christ.
He's the Sarah
Alright.
Paulson of, you know,
That's true.
the male world because she fucking loves him old too. So, all right. So that's going to do it for a special episode of the Film Cave, our Avatar spoiler review. Thank you so much for joining us live. Quite a bit of you showed up. Thank you so much. And Priscilla, I'm so glad you watch right now, girl. That touches my heart. So Logan,
Yes, sir.
let the people know where they can find you and what you got going on.
You can find me right here, Logan_Swish on the Twitter. Also, Patreon, YouTube, all that jazz. Watching the Boys. Episode 3 is up. I'm going to try to get 4. Maybe I can record 4 tonight. I'm not sure.
So
And so that I can post it at least for this weekend or something, because obviously I won't have any time this weekend. But yeah, the Boys, definitely check that out on Patreon until we get to some things in the new year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all can find me right up top in all forms of social media. Next week, we're going to have show 100. And then we might have some stuff to talk about, from there. So we shall see. Be sure to tune in there. Again, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as always. So, thank y'all. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up and the notification bell to be reminded when 100 drops, because you don't want to miss it. Pam, I'm sure. It's your boy Knight.
And I'm Logan.
And as always, we'll see y'all in the cave. Peace.
Later, guys. Episode 3 was my favorite.